On 13th July 2022, the Ugandan National Bureau of Standards opened a food safety testing laboratory for Northern Region. This new testing facility is located at the UNBS office along Agwok Ayaro Road in Gulu City. The launch kicked off with a colorful closed exhibition that gave selected and compliant local manufacturers a chance to showcase their UNBS certified products to the guests and the rest of the world through media.
Executive director, I'm not educated. I'm a senior 3-lever. I dropped out, some time back. With the help of UNBS, this is why you see me here. Otherwise, I would have not been here, and the strength and courage they gave me. So we worked slowly by slowly, with correction, with education. Always when they come, I tell them, I need to learn. I need to learn. I need to learn. Till we reached a point of learning that our product got certification. And it was one of the happiest days that today I want to stand in front of you, our Minister of State and the Executive Director, that is the way to go. And your people are okay for us. And we are actually explaining to our people that they should not run away from your team. Your team is to build us. Thank you very much.
Today we are officially commissioning a regional laboratory for northern Uganda, based in Gulu City. Why did we bring it to Gulu City? We are saying that Gulu City, if the people of West Nile, my brother will complain, why did you bring it to West Nile? I'm saying that Gulu City is nearer than Kampala. That's one of the reasons. As you are aware, over a long time, the testing services have been housed in UNBS headquarters in Kampala. And this was incredibly causing, one, discouraging people from seeking conformity assessment of their products, therefore responsible for the increase in substandard products in the countryside. So you'd not blame these people because traveling all the way to Kampala to get your products certified was really very expensive. Of course, secondly, was the issue to do with the cost of certification and the cost of testing. And this is the issue we are addressing by bringing this facility nearer to our people of Northern Region. Other people from other parts of the region will complain, why did you start with Gulu? The standards do not look at size, they do not look at colors. We chose Gulu for a purpose. Gulu has a lot of economic activities going on in terms of production, value addition, in all aspects of the agricultural products and non-agricultural products. And we are thinking that as government is popularizing the parish development model, we want to make sure that this facility that will add value and make sure that the products coming out of the parish development model are safe and of high quality is one of the objectives of this facility. But we are also going to set a similar facility in Mbarara for Western region and in Mbale for the Eastern region. This will be all commissioned before December this year. So other parts of the country should not feel bad that we started with the north. Everybody will be served, and we will make sure that one for Western Uganda will be in Mbarara, and we are opening that soon. And the one for Eastern Uganda will be in Mbale, and we are commissioning that soon. What happens with other distant places? With my goodwill of the ambassador and trademark East Africa, this is a fixed facility, desk analysis. We have a vision that we should also provide mobile laboratories so that we can drive now to any other area that we deem is far from these regional labs and be able to offer that analysis at arm's length. So that will be our next phase after setting this infrastructure, which is housed in these regions. Then we'll want to invest in mobile laboratories. This will be like vans or trucks that actually fully automated with equipment, with a generator. You go and set it up anywhere, including in the bush, so long as there is an activity there, and we'll be able to make sure that products coming from there are safe. So we look forward that with the decentralization of these services, we look forward to significant reduction in the prevalence of substandard products on the market. But most importantly, we want to make sure that our government policy of import substitution is realized. We now want to see the competitiveness of our local products increasing so that we now start exporting truly yours made in Uganda than importing. UNBS has done a lot of opening markets. We have now been able to harmonize most of the standards that these products are certified against across the East African community. That means that once you have got a UNBS quality mark, you can freely now export to all parts of the EAC. But we are also embarked on harmonizing standards at continental level, at the African Regional Standards Organization level, so that again, the African Continental Free Trade Area market, which is the market for Africa, will also be on the same concept. When the Ugandan Bureau of Standards has certified an African product made in Uganda, it should freely access any country in Africa. So I want to thank our enterprises. We have noted that some of the enterprises are already exporting to the EAC and to the continent. And I get excited that these are people who can demonstrate that, again, UNBS has laid a foundation of harmonizing standards across the EAC and across the continent. So we are now doing a role to make sure that we now support our enterprises to comply with the required standards by decentralizing these facilities to all parts of the country. So again, our products can now be competitive, and that nobody who is involved in industrialization, in production and value addition in any parts of the country will be denied opportunity to actually export and put the product on the market. So I want therefore to thank our development partners, especially Trademark East Africa, for having trust in the Bureau of Standards. As a standards body, we believe that we should be, in all aspects, lead by example and also be seen to be doing the right thing. The issue of transparency, the issue of commitment, the issue of results. We have demonstrated that over time, and want to assure you that this equipment that has been given to us will be put to the best use. Otherwise, you have all the volume to supply us. You have tax-free quotas to deliver, subject to what? Meeting the quality requirements of the what? Of the market. So you can see that quality standards must actually be the first on the agenda of any enterprise who is involved in value addition and who want to trade, because it is now a key to the market. So I want to encourage the enterprises that have already been there to help us to be part of the ambassadors, and of course our leaders, as you preach the parish development model, tell them that there is a constant. What you produce out of the parish must meet the safety and quality requirements if it has to be consumed by Ugandans, if it has to be exported. I want the whole Uganda to know that we are in Gulu, UNBS is in Gulu, and tell them to wait for us in Mbarara and in Mbale. We are coming soon. Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure to be with you here today on the launch of this important facility, the Regional Laboratory for the Northern Uganda today. This facility was funded by the general support of the Danish Embassy to Uganda through Trademark East Africa. And its main purpose was to reduce the cost and time spent by the manufacturers who are based in the north of Uganda while testing their products and while seeking certification from the Bureau of Standards. So this is principally in line with Trademark's objective of increasing business competitiveness in the region. We as Trademark East Africa partnered with the Bureau of Standards in decentralizing the laboratories in Uganda. So instead of business going to Kampala, which is their headquarters, business can go to the regions. So these laboratories are being decentralized to Gulu, Mbale, and Mbarara. So today we are launching the first of the 3 laboratories that are being decentralized in Gulu. This lab, as I said earlier, will support the manufacturers who are based in the north, and you've seen many of them here who have attested to the relevance of this facility here. They've attested to how they've been able to both sell and export outside this region to other regions of Uganda. So the support of this lab after here will be sustained through the funding of Government of Uganda through the Bureau of Standards. So, Mr. ED, what we call upon you is after this is the process of sustainability, because this lab is here to stay. This lab is here to serve generations in the future. So that's our call to you and to your staff to work with us to get the key results of the investment in the laboratories here. Lastly, I would like to appreciate the generous support of the Embassy of Denmark through the ambassador for the funding of this facility and the other facilities that are being decentralized to Mbale and Mbarara.
And I want to thank 2 of our very good partners, Trademark East Africa and UNBS, for ensuring that the necessary laboratory equipment are in place and are actually in use by the people in this great region of Gulu. I want to acknowledge that the market in Uganda and the world over suffer from substandard products, and therefore efforts to secure the right quality of goods are sold on the local and international markets are critical to preserve health and enhance people's livelihood. And yes, we want to see more product of Uganda in Denmark and European markets, because the markets are open. They are open, so we welcome you there. And UNBS, you have a critical role to ensure this. I also want to acknowledge the fact that when traders and manufacturers have to travel long distances with the samples, the sample integrity is compromised in the process because of the inappropriate handling before analysis. Compromised samples lead to wrong results and the need for continuous submission of samples, which is very costly to the private sector. Therefore, decentralization of services like we're seeing here today is therefore a great importance and very, very crucial. It sounds boring, but it is crucial. It is crucial for these businesses here that they can come here and get their products tested and certified. For a very long time, Denmark has supported Uganda's efforts to improve the trading environment by supporting Trademark East Africa activities in facilitating cross-border trade. Denmark does this because we believe it's important to everyday Ugandans, and we should not forget that the people of Uganda are among the most industrious and entrepreneurial people on this continent. Together with Trademark East Africa and UNBS, we want to prove that trade and commerce benefits everybody. Now let me tell you a little story. It's a made-up story, but it could be true. If you consider a farmer who wants to produce better quality than her neighbors, yeah, many farmers are women, so we should acknowledge the women. We'll call this farmer Grace. How will she convince buyers of the quality of her product? Maybe she's just bragging. She has to prove it. That's where standards comes in. She needs certification. Grace needs the credibility of UNBS. Today, we commission decentralized laboratories in Gulu. That is so to ensure that Grace and her fellow farmers can show the world the quality of their products and get a higher price inside and not least outside Uganda. I commend the traders here who's already now trading with Kenya, with DRC, with South Sudan, and also with the UK, and we need you in Europe. We do this in support of Uganda's official policy to promote commercial agriculture, and we do this because we believe economic progress should benefit everyone. The Danish government, through our partners Trademark East Africa, has enhanced the testing capacity of regional laboratories to enable decentralization of UNBS testing services in the regions of Gulu, Mbarara, and Mbale by donating laboratory testing equipment and related consumables worth over 16.8 billion Uganda shillings. Again, helping to take services closer to the people to ensure quality products and contribute to efficiency in service delivery of UNBS. In addition to this, Denmark has, through Trademark East Africa, enhanced the testing capacity of UNBS Material Testing Laboratory and Chemistry Laboratory in Mbarara through procurement of equipment of worth more than $93,000 for testing COVID-19 prevention safety products. This was recently launched and has been in use since last year. Other than the COVID-19 safety prevention product, this equipment is also being used for testing general textile products, paper products, and toilet paper, among others, which is a good thing and show that we can use this equipment post-COVID. Denmark is passionate about promoting private sector developments in Uganda. No, that's not necessary. No, thank you. I need the sun. I'm going to Denmark soon. We don't have so much sun there. Through the Uganda Program for Sustainable Inclusive Development, which we call UPSIDE in the embassy, Denmark is supporting the private sector in Uganda through Trademark East Africa to promote cross-border trade and create a conducive business environment in Uganda. And we see now that the freight times at the borders have been reduced dramatically for cargo coming into Uganda. From Kenya, from Tanzania, it's much less time now at the border than it was before. With this partnership, we celebrate today. Danida expects UNBS to facilitate both local and international trade among all categories of traders in Uganda, and Denmark has a special heart for the women traders. You can clap now. As I conclude, I would like to emphasize that an improved business environment is important at the macro level for the economy, it's important for trade, and it's important for productivity. But we must never forget the ground, people like the ones we see here, and farmers like the make-believe Grace. What we do at the embassy, as Trademark East Africa, and as UNBS must benefit farmers such as Grace. Thank you, Trademark East Africa, for your great efforts to impact trade facilitation in the region. Thank you, UNBS, for embracing the necessary reforms to facilitate trade. Thank you to all other partners and stakeholders for all your efforts to improve the business environment here in Uganda to the benefit of all Ugandans. Thank you.
We want to thank the ambassador and everybody who participated actively in letting this decentralization happen. Now it's here in Gulu City, then it will be Mbarara and Mbale. Gulu City is actually midway, but it has also been the biggest, it was the biggest town in the north. So it is not really a mistake that these laboratories have to come to Gulu City. Arua will find it easy to move here. Even Kitgum will find it easy to move in the middle. Lira will also find it easy. So we want to thank the effort very much.
This is a new thing that has been captured in the Paris Development Model, National Development Plan 3. Value addition is very key. People still don't know. Leave alone the exposure is not there. I'd like to request you to organize more conference with the business community. I request my community here also to improve on what we cultivate.
Thank you for thinking this way. Thank you for supporting us. Thank you for covering the gaps and the bridges for government that our people can get the service delivery that they deserve. With those brief remarks, allow me read the speech of the Honorable Minister. Uganda National Bureau of Standards, commissioning of UNBS Gulu Regional Laboratory, Wednesday, 13th July 2022. I have the honor and privilege to welcome all of you to this ceremony for the commissioning the UNBS Gulu Regional Testing Laboratories. I must start by congratulating the Executive Director and his team at Uganda National Bureau of Standards for decentralizing and bringing laboratory testing services nearer to the people of northern Uganda. I am also aware of your initiatives for similar facilities in eastern and western Uganda. I believe this effort will go a long way in boosting trade in safe and quality products in the country so as to protect consumers from harmful and substandard products on the market. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, a safe and quality product is of primary concern to everyone. It means that the consumer and the environment are protected and also enhances economic development for the country through promoting trade in quality and competitive products. Today's industries require accurate, reliable, and rapid test results for market access. Therefore, having adequate analytical capacities for the products placed on the market for consumption and trade is of paramount importance. Therefore, on behalf of the government of Uganda and on my own behalf, allow me to thank the Danish government, His Excellency the Ambassador of Denmark to Uganda, and Trademark East Africa for partnering with us to enhance the testing capacity of Uganda National Bureau of Standards with a support worth $4,455,283 US. UNBS will now be able to effectively undertake decentralization of its testing services to the northern, western, and eastern Uganda, as per plan. This is going to further strengthen UNBS efforts of monitoring the quality and safety of products on the market meant for both local consumption and for export. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the enhancement of testing capacity in UNBS regional laboratories is expected to reduce the turnaround time for analysis of products samples submitted by MSMEs seeking certification of their products with NBS Q mark. Reduce the cost of seeking testing services from UNBS Central Laboratories in Kampala, which has been the case. This will reduce the cost of doing business for the SMEs and industries. Improve the integrity of samples which could be compromised due to long transit time to the laboratories. Improve compliance to quality standards and enhance competitiveness of locally manufactured products, among other things. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as I conclude, I wish to once again thank UNBS management and staff for their tireless effort and commitment to continue decentralizing their services to other parts of the country amidst the constraints of resources from government.
The presence of this facility means that micro, small and medium enterprises as well as industries based in northern Uganda will save on the cost of doing business, given that all technical aspects of acquiring UNBS certification can now be completed at UNBS Gulu office as opposed to traveling to the UNBS headquarters in Kampala. The Gulu laboratory will protect consumers by testing products on the market to ensure that they are safe for human consumption.
This facility is very good and it should be embraced by people in northern Uganda because it will help them, first of all, in improving the quality of their products so that they can be competitive in business. And secondly, we've been operating in Kampala. Most of the testing facilities have been in Kampala, which has been more of a challenge in the business community, where they have to travel longer distances to bring samples to Kampala. So by bringing the facility nearer and more so to Gulu, it means the business community cost of business will be reduced. These multiple journeys of moving to and from Kampala will be reduced, and also the turnaround time of doing business. Because when a customer submits a sample, actually he wants the results as per yesterday. So this idea of the turnaround time, the time taken for analysis will be reduced in that you bring in the sample, you get results in a timely manner, so it can be used for any purpose, for making a decision or for trading purposes. So it will be adding value to people even upcoming in those small scale industries, because once somebody is coming up with a new product, there's always a lot of improvement which is supposed to be done to come up with a better product on market. So there's multiple testing of the product. So since the testing facility will be nearer, so it means that making a decision and also the improvements and adding value to the product will be made easier to that. And more so, we shall be supporting the certification process. You see, with certification of the product to access the local international market, the product has to be tested for conformity to see that the product is meeting the national requirement or international requirement.
At the end of the day, there was a lot of fanfare and merrymaking as trade stakeholders celebrated this milestone. Those in attendance were treated to a variety of eats and drinks, spiced up with musical sounds of Uganda. Throughout the day, it was quality everywhere.